Hi, my name is Jamie Utt, and I'm a diversity and inclusion consultant based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota that was recently hired by the Dolores community to come in and work with your students. I've been following closely the tensions that have been occurring recently in Dolores, and so I wanted to reach out to you in hopes that you might feel a little bit more at ease about the person who's coming in to work with your students, and to give you an idea of the kind of programming that I'm going to be facilitating with the students of Dolores. But I guess let me start by telling you a little bit more about myself. I grew up in western Colorado, actually in Grand Junction, so not too far from where you are right now. And as a result, I feel like at least in some ways, I understand well the things that are facing western Colorado, whether we're talking about water issues or thinking about ranching and farming. Those are the things that I'm familiar with. I also have 10 years of experience working with young people like yours in your community, helping them see themselves as the agents of change in building more positive, inclusive school communities where every single student feels safe and included and comfortable. I also wanted to make sure that I gave you a little bit of a heads up about what I'm going to be doing with the students of Dolores in my time with the community. On Monday, I'll be spending some time with middle school student leaders and high school student leaders. And essentially the goal of that time is to give those students some tools so that they can understand how, after I leave, they can do the work of making sure that every single student feels safe and comfortable and included in their school environment. Specifically, I call these trainings upstander intervention trainings or student diversity stewards trainings. And the goal of them is to make sure that students have tools so that on the other end, they can intervene when bullying is happening or when problematic behaviors are happening, or to where they can try to create the kind of culture and climate on the whole within their school community that will make sure that every single person is respected within their identity so that they can learn at their highest potential. On Tuesday, I will be leading a series of assemblies, one for the middle school students and two for the high school students. My high school assembly program, The Wall, pairs student leadership trainings for some of the students in the school with a message that encourages young people to see themselves as the agents of change that can create an inclusive community within their school. Specifically, I encourage students to think about ways that they personally can tackle issues of prejudice, bigotry, and hate so that we don't see them as these big amorphous problems that are out there somewhere in the world, but instead are things that we can tackle. I would encourage you to talk to your students about what it is that they heard, and specifically ask them about the 4 steps that I laid out for tackling problems of prejudice, bigotry, and hate in our lives and in our communities. See if they can remember each of the steps and talk about what those steps might look like in their own life. Because in the end, the root of my high school programming is that I want to make sure that every single student, regardless of their interests or their identity or the activities that they participate in, I want to make sure that every single student feels like they have a place in their community where they can feel safe, where they can feel included, and where they can learn to the best of their ability. I hope that this video has given you a better sense of what it is that I'm going to be talking to your students about and given you some talking points so that you can discuss the content with them. But if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to go ahead and write them in the comments below and I will respond at my earliest convenience. Or if you'd like, you can email me at utt.jamie@gmail.com. That's ut.jamie@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you at my earliest convenience. And if nothing else, I hope that I'll see you at our parent program that we'll be facilitating on Monday, the 8th of April at the school. And I look forward to talking to you and meeting you and telling you a little bit more about my programming so that hopefully we can work together to make sure that every single student feels like this is a community where they feel safe and where they feel included. More than anything, I hope you'll join me so that we can work together with our students and with our teachers and with our administration to build the most inclusive community that we possibly can. Thank you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.